Hello there, this is Coach Ajit, and in today's video we are discussing 5 most common fears that new coaches have and how to get over it, how to get over these common fears that you may be experiencing if you're a new coach. When you are a new coach, there are some common fears that we've seen that tend to show up for life coaches and business coaches and performance coaches. So in today's video, I wanted to use my research of what are those common fears that stops a new coach in being able to take action, and then reflect on one very simple way that you can use to get over any of these fears or any other fear that may be coming up for you as a new coach. Now, as you're a new coach, you may have already realized that most of our fears, our concerns are from within. They are inner work that is required that will help us navigate life in a slightly or a significantly different way. So the model that I'm going to show you towards the end of this video that will help you overcome any of these fears once you understand them, you will find that that model is applicable anywhere in your life or anywhere in the life of your clients. Now, the model I'm going to share with you is a small part of a much larger model, but this model itself will help you overcome these fears. Now, getting over these fears may take some practice, may take a lot of inner work, which is why I want you to bookmark this video and be able to come back to it whenever you feel a fear is showing up in your life or you find yourself resisting taking action, because this technique may be helpful going forward for the rest of your life. Now, before we get into the technique and how to really get past these fears, first we must understand what are these 5 fears and why and how do they show up in our coaching careers. So if you're a life coach, a performance coach, a business coach, or a health coach, make sure you listen into these fears and really reflect as to what is it that is more evident for you. Which of these fears show up most commonly for you? And as your attention and awareness comes to that fear, you go, oh, that fear is really common for me. It comes up again and again. I'd love for you to share it in the comment section below. We are always looking for ways to help you as a coach live a more expansive life, impact a lot more lives, make more money being a coach. And having this information from you as to what's stopping you helps us create more relevant content that will help you create an even more thriving career. So while watching this video, if any fear really stands out to you, make sure you share it in the comment section below. The first most common fear new coaches feel is not feeling good enough. Or another way to put it is to not be able to get the results that you promise your clients. It's a common fear that new life coaches fear more intensely because they are starting something new. And as they start something new, they don't have the confidence, the self-esteem to really feel that they can actually deliver what they promise. They have a disassociation of what are my capabilities and can I really use these capabilities in somebody's life. We feel like we are not good enough to create results for our clients because when we are starting anything new, we tend to feel like there is some destination or some place or some point where we are supposed to get really good at it. And there's a point where you feel fully ready to do something. If I was to reflect on that and reflect on my career in that context, when I'm about to record a video for you guys, a lot of times I do feel, am I qualified to talk about it? Am I really good at doing this stuff? If I would really listen to my thoughts at that time, if I would really listen to what my mind is telling at that time, I would probably never put out any YouTube video for you. The challenge is, as you get older, you doubt yourself more and more. As you get older, you feel like, oh, I must get this particular kind of expertise in even a new thing before I can share it with the world, before I can go out in the world and actually do something about it. There's a sense of perfection that we feel. There's a sense of certain kind of abilities that we want to get to before we start contributing to anybody else's life. And that becomes restrictive to us. The second reason why we feel we are not good enough or we feel like we may not be able to drive results for our clients is because we compare. We are social beings. We want to look at somebody else and go, oh, that person's doing it that way. Maybe I should do it that way, right? This comparison, while may sometimes be educational because you might be able to learn something from somebody, when it's flipped on its head, when it's used as a benchmark against somebody, we have cut ourselves short and made ourselves only as good as we can compare ourselves to somebody else. Now, these 2 primary reasons may drive your current behavior of not feeling like you're good enough to be a coach. It may be the reason why you feel like that you will not be able to create results for your clients. And when you don't feel good enough, guess what happens? Emotions take over. When you don't feel like you can create results for your clients, emotions take over. And what do we do in this emotional state? This emotional state of fearfulness, this emotional state of not feeling good enoughness, this emotional state of frustration with ourselves and sadness for ourselves and feeling like that we are tied into this cocoon and we are never able to break apart. We tend to stop taking action. We confine ourselves to our known world without exploring what may be possible outside of that world. The second most common fear new life coaches feel is judgment from friends and family. You see, when we are taking on a career like coaching, it is very meaningful. It feels that you're going to go out and contribute to society. You're going to help somebody live a better life. But what happens is there are friends and family members that are carrying the baggage of your old self. Say in the past, you've gone through a tough experience and you were not able to coach yourself out of it. That you had a health journey, but you were not able to really cope out of it and you needed a lot more help to really get over that situation in your life. They still see you as that old you that was struggling, that was not able to take control of their own life, that were not able to control their health, they were not able to coach themselves out of anything. And now you're somebody who's claiming to be a life coach. You are somebody that is claiming to be a health coach. You're claiming somebody that who can change somebody else's life. It breaks their world. And they tend to judge you because of that. They tend to think, oh, you're just doing this and you're not really good at it. And what is this quote that you're posting, or why are you talking about your personal life? And while these judgments may seem like coming from friendship and love, it's actually found that judgment is often given only by people who are judging themselves. Individuals that feel like they have suppressed stories or repressed ambitions or repressed things that they really wanted to do, achievements they really wanted to unlock for themselves, passions they really wanted to pursue, when they judge themselves for not doing it, they are the ones who really reflect that judgment on you. So when somebody is judging you, it's not that they are judging you, they are judging themselves. They are judging their own stories. And because they have no way to really cope with it, they haven't learned the art of coaching themselves. They haven't learned the art of coaching. They haven't hired a coach. Guess what they do? They operate from judgment. They relay that judgment right in your face and say, you are not good enough, that you shouldn't be doing this. And why are you doing this? It has very little to do with you. It has mostly to do with them and their own stories. Here's another thing that I want you to reflect on. Do you really fear judgment? You may say that you fear judgment, but if you really inquire within, you will find that you don't fear judgment. You fear the feeling that is created when you actually listen to a judgment and when you actually are in the meat of that judgment that you are actually reflecting, especially when it comes from a friend or a family member. Now you feel the feeling. Now you really feel really terrible about yourself, or you feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you're not doing justice to your capabilities or whatever it might be, but it's the feeling that you fear. You don't fear the judgment. You don't fear judgment from a random person walking down the street. You fear judgment from somebody that loves you or you think they love you. And so you are fearing the feeling that comes as a consequence of that judgment, not actually the judgment itself, which is liberating, because when you separate the emotion from the act of judgment, it really gives us more power to reflect on how do we really navigate this particular fear. The third fear that we have is fear of being seen and being heard. The fear of being seen and heard usually stems from our childhood. If you were somebody who wanted to go out in the world and you were on stages, or you were vocal about what you were saying, that you wanted to be seen and you wanted to be heard as a toddler, as a child, but somebody shut you down at that time. Somebody said, you're not good enough to get on the stage. Somebody rejected you from a play, or rejected you from a speaking opportunity, or rejected you from being seen, or told you to turn it down a notch, told you to say you're way too much girl, you're way too much guy. And because of that, you built an inherent fear of being seen and being heard. It was so true for me for a big part of my life. I was scared of being seen. I was scared of being heard, mostly because I thought I wasn't very good, because once there was a time when I got on stage, I gave a speech, and somebody told me they thought it was the worst speech they'd ever heard in their life. To an innocent child, to an innocent preteen, it was the end of my world. So I turned down my light until later in life, somebody else came along and reminded me that I am amazing, like you are amazing, like we are all amazing in our own right. So your fear of being seen and heard may be coming from some childhood experience where somebody told you to turn down that light, to turn down that joy that you were spreading, that beaming light that you were. And because of that, today, you feel that you can't be seen or you can't be heard. Our fourth fear is fear of asking for money. That is such a common fear, especially with new life coaches and new spiritual life coaches. We are scared, so very scared, to be able to ask for money for what we have to offer. The first thing that you want to be aware of is there are so many sub-stories that might be going on in your background of your mind, so you feel restricted or limited or don't feel like you can really ask for money for the services that you offer. And there could be many reasons for it, but more often than not, it is because we have an association with money where we think money or having money is not a good thing. That asking for money for something that helps somebody else change their lives is not a good thing. That somehow we feel that donating everything that we have beyond ourselves to make that big sacrifice is the thing to do. Well, I'm here to tell you that money is the source of all good. Money can actually help humanity. Money actually helps society. Money helps create jobs. Money helps you live a better life. Money helps you learn better, which can help society evolve better. If anything, money is more often a source of good than a source of evil. But that is not the story that we have been told often, right? We've been told the story of how rich people are bad people or money is source of all evil because, well, the people that were telling us those stories never really had a good relationship with money. They didn't feel comfortable being rich. They didn't feel comfortable being wealthy. They didn't understand that money can be used the way you want to use it. That money is simply a trade of value that all of us can be abundant. All of us can be rich. All of us can be wealthy because money is a trade in, trade out of value. If you give value to someone, it's just traded in for money. And when you don't say yes to money in that sense, it actually spiritually may even take away from your power to deliver value, because value must be traded for some other value. If not money, then something else, but something has to be traded in because it's an exchange of value to humanity and to people around us. Which brings me to the final fear that you may be experiencing. It is the fear of bothering people. I have heard this from new coaches so very often. New life coaches, new business coaches that, hey, I don't want to reach out to somebody because I feel like I'm going to be bothering that person. I'm not going to reach out to somebody because I feel like they wouldn't have time to have this conversation with me. Well, I have a question for you as you reflect on, is that a fear that has stopped you lately or in time or is currently stopping you? Is that when somebody gave something tremendously valuable to you, did you feel like they were bothering you? If you needed something in your life and somebody gave you right at that time, if your car broke down, a mechanic showed up right there, did you feel like that mechanic was bothering you? You did not. You were actually grateful that they showed up. The challenge is we as life coaches don't see our service as helping people. And so we undercut ourselves and go, oh, I'm bothering somebody. You're not bothering somebody. You're not bothering anybody. You know what you're doing? You are making sure they know that there is something of value that you have to offer. And there is absolutely no way they can know that you have that thing of value that they really need if you didn't tell them. And that is the problem. When we think about we are bothering people, we're not bothering nobody. You're actually bringing value to a person that needs that value. So please turn that noise down and listen to what your heart really wants to sing, which is, I am here on this planet to deliver value. And I'm going to go out in the world and create more value than I have ever received from this world. Now, we talked about 5 most common fears new coaches have. They were, firstly, not feeling good enough or feeling like that they are not going to get the results to clients. The second was judgment from friends and family. Third was fear of being seen and heard. Fourth was fear of asking for money. 5 was the fear of bothering people. Now that you understand these 5 fears, let me give you one simple technique that you can use every single time any of these fears come up or any fear comes up in your life. This technique comes from one of my programs called Certified Life Coach. I'm going to tell about that program later to you, but let me first give you the technique that may be extremely helpful to you while getting over any of these fears or any other fear that you may be experiencing or your clients may be experiencing. The fundamental of this technique lies in that if you can rationalize something, you can get over it. Because when you are feeling a fear, it's mostly an emotional and somatic response, right? Your body's feeling it, you're feeling the emotion, but your mind's out of it. Your mind's actually not thinking about it, or it's making up the story to justify the fear because it's emotions taking over your rational mind. It's an emotional body that is responding instead of your rational mind. Which means if we can turn off that emotional body in some way, not to say that we are suppressing emotion, but we are turning it lower so we can actually listen to a rational mind, you will find that it's easier for you to get past the fear. I'm going to give you 4 steps to actually rationalize what may be happening at that time when fear comes up in your life. The first step to rationalizing what is happening for you when you're experiencing fear is awareness. It's presence to what is actually happening. The first step for any of these fears or any other fear that you may experience as a new coach, you want to first accept that it's happening, right? If you feel like you're bothering people, accept that yes, you feel like you're bothering people. If you feel like you find it hard to ask for money, accept the fact that you find it difficult to ask for money. If your fear is that you don't feel good enough, accept the fact that right now you're at a stage in life where you don't feel good enough. Accepting what is truly happening allows you to get into a state of awareness, allows you to accept the feeling that is happening through you, accept the reality of your current life. It doesn't mean we succumb to it. It doesn't mean we buy into it saying that this is going to be the truth of my life. It simply means I accept that this is happening to me right now. Now, once you've accepted that that is a fear that is happening for you right now, the second step is to recognize the emotion that is associated with it. Are you feeling more frustrated? Are you angry? Are you pissed off? Are you disappointed? Are you discouraged? Are you sad? Are you unhappy? What is the emotion that you really feel when that fear kicks in? The reason why we want to identify that emotion and label it is because when we don't label emotion, we simply give in to the fact that that fear is. Right? There's no way to tackle a fear if you don't fully understand it. There's no way to tackle anything if you don't fully understand it. So once acceptance is done and you know, fine, I have the fear of blank, ask yourself, what's the emotion I'm feeling? Am I feeling angry? Am I feeling frustrated? Am I feeling disappointed in myself? Am I feeling sad that I can't get past over it? What is the feeling? What is the emotion that is being followed up by this acceptance, by this knowingness of this particular fear in your life? And as you experience this emotion, as you feel this feeling, I want you to really feel it. If you are good at spotting where it is in your body, you want to also go, oh, somatically, this is where I feel. Oh, I feel frustrated here in my heart, or I feel angry and my arms hurt a little bit. Whatever that might be. It can be anywhere. Everybody is different. Their emotions are stored usually in different places. There are some common trends, but I will let you spot for where it is in your body, because what you want to do is you want to do activities to release that emotion. There are many ways to get out of that emotional state. First, and the simplest one, is to create a somatic experience or a body experience that will allow you to release emotion. If you're feeling angry, frustrated, go ahead and jump around, listen to great music and dance. Go to a place where you can release some anger, throw rocks in the water, or whatever that might be, but release that emotion, because that release of emotion will let you get to the third step. The third step of this process is to look at the thinking based on the circumstance that appears. Let me extrapolate that with an example. Say, for example, you have a fear of feeling judged. And so because of that, you find resistance and hesitate in posting on social media. Say this judgment or this feeling or fear of judgment may be occurring in your life because once there was a family member or a friend who commented on some post that you made that you felt really good about, but they felt that you were not doing a good job and that you were doing a disservice to humanity or service and so forth. And because of that, you started to feel like, oh, I'm going to get judged by my family and friends and I don't want to post stuff because of that. Now that we understand that judgment has very little to do with you and more to do with their own repressed ambitions of themselves, let's think about what may be the thinking patterns that might be happening. So currently, a thinking pattern is, if I post something, I'm going to get judged. And if I will get judged, I will have this not so fun argument or conversation with my friends and family members, and I don't really want to do that, so I'm not going to post. This is your current thinking pattern, which is why you resist the idea of posting anything. Now, this thinking pattern doesn't really serve you, does it? When you think about how you're not going to post because somebody else is going to use their judgment of themselves to judge you, it feels like you're doing something that doesn't actually help you as a human being or help humanity at large. Like, there's no real purpose that is being fulfilled here because of this weird fear that you have. Alternatively, you can choose another thinking pattern. See, every single event in our life has an opportunity for us to think in many different ways. And the reason is because life has multiplicity. There is no one way that anybody can say that this is the only way to live life. There's many ways to live life, and people need to find their own paths, right? And as a coach, you recognize that for yourself as well and for people around you. That's why we become coaches, right? We want people to be able to live the best version of themselves. Not one ideal life, but the ideal life for the person that we are coaching, right? So ask yourself, okay, that's a way of thinking. I can choose that thinking, and that will keep me safe and secure, and that's all right if that's what I want. Or I can choose a different thought. I can choose a different way of thinking. What if I chose my thinking pattern to say that somebody is judging themselves is why they're judging me? What if I reached out and actually create a series around judgment on my social media so people who judge themselves can also see they don't need to judge me? Or another thinking pattern could be, what if I just communicated my message again and again and again, even if nobody responds and people judge me and people question my abilities and so on and so forth. But what I will end up doing is create progress in my life. I will end up creating a better narrative in people's lives who tend to watch my posts or will end up watching my posts, even if they're not friends and family. You see, once you have these multiplicity of thinking patterns that you can choose from, now you can say, which of these thinking patterns is the most empowered that I want to use? And why we want to go for an empowered thinking pattern is because don't you and I want to live an empowered life? Don't we want to be better than yesterday? Don't we want to be better than this moment that has gone by? Right? That's why you're watching this video. You're like, hey, I want to be better. And because you want to be better, maybe there's a more empowered way of thinking that you could choose that is congruent to you. I'm not saying the examples that I gave. You could have a different thinking pattern, which may be, hey, that is a more empowered thinking pattern for me because it gets me into action. It gets me more closer to the outcome that I want for myself and for my family and for my neighborhood and for humanity at large, right? And now you say, okay, I'm going to choose that thinking pattern. I'm not going to choose the thinking pattern that stops me, that keeps me safe. I'm going to choose a thinking pattern that pushes humanity further, that pushes me further, that pushes my outcomes further, pushes my family further in the direction that I really want to live. Right? Empowered thinking is what creates empowered outcomes. And if we can choose that empowered thinking in that moment, we will find that we would create a different result. And that's what we want, to get past the fear and create a different result. And that brings the fourth step. The fourth step has everything to do with building a new version of you. You see, you have a sense of identity that you have associated with yourself. And this old sense of identity has certain thinking patterns, has certain beliefs, has certain limitations, certain expansions. And this sense of identity that you built is very much a function of how you show up and do certain things. It is when you listen to someone's judgment, you hold back and not take action. That's a sense of identity that you have, that, oh, I don't want to offend my friends and family, right? That's an identity that you have. Oh, I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to piss them off. I don't want them to judge me, right? But that sense of identity is a sense of identity that is created. You didn't have that fear when you were a toddler. You didn't have that fear. You didn't have that identity when you were a toddler or when you were a child, like a baby. I have a 7-month-old baby at home and she does not have any fear. I don't see her being fearful of anything. She would put things in her mouth that she should not put in her mouth. She would go all around the house, crawling on all fours of hers without giving a damn about what's around that is safe or not safe for her. She would do whatever. And that is what fearless being is. That's how you were born. You took on identity. You took on fears because they made you feel safe, and rightly so. But some of those fears you didn't even want to take. You just ended up taking them because of how the world was set up around you. So why not change the identity to be more congruent with who you want to be? Right? Your identity is a borrowed identity. It's an identity that you took on by taking things around you and creating them a part of you. You can choose to say, this identity doesn't serve me no more. I'm going to choose a different identity, and my new identity has these elements. Write down those elements. You can build an identity for yourself where you say, I am somebody who's more creative. I don't care about judgment or whatever. I am somebody who's creative, and so I must create. You can take on an identity which says, I am wealthy and I'm abundant and I have a really great relationship with money and I love money. And all of these will become true if you build habits around building this new identity. And the first habit you want to do is to start telling yourself all of these new things that are true for you to build your new identity. And then there will be other associated habits that would be. For example, if you want to believe that you are a wealthy person, that's your identity, you will garner knowledge about how to make money and save money and keep money and invest money because you are somebody who's wealthy. So of course, that is a sense of your identity, and your habits will reflect your sense of identity. So the fourth step is to question your identity and build habits to create a new identity for yourself that actually is more congruent with who you are. So 4 very simple steps to get over any fear in a short and a long term. The first is get really aware and present to what is your fear. Second is to understand the emotion associated with that fear and let that emotion pass through you. The third is to rationalize your thinking. Don't just fall for your old thinking. Think about how is it that I can choose a more empowered thinking. The fourth step is to question your identity, create a new identity, and build associated habits for that new identity. Now, like I said, this is a small part of a large program that I have called Certified Life Coach that I built in partnership with Mindvalley's founder, Vishen. And we are releasing and opening doors to that program right now for you as an EverCoach Tribe member. If you are somebody that is either a life coach, wants to be a better life coach, is interested in changing lives and live an empowered life for yourself and for your family members and for clients around you, I think this might be the best investment you will make all year long. We have kept this program extremely affordable with a really good payment plan because we want most people to have these tools so they can create the life that they want to create. I've been blessed that I was exposed to ideas that I share with you in this program much early on. So today I get to say that I live an empowered life. I live a life that is of my dreams, and I will live it again and again. I have been blessed with amazing family, amazing friends, a lot of abundance, a lot of growth and contribution that I can make in society. And usually I am able to get past my fears very quickly. So if you want to get past your fears, if you want to live an abundant life, if you want to create more impact in the world, I invite you to check out the details of the program below this video. Click on that link. It'll take you to a page that gives you all the details, and then you can decide for yourself if this program is for you or not. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Coach Ajit, and you're watching this on EverCoach.